day 110 of Daily Bible Verses. In honor of it being 110 days since I started doing Daily Bible Verses, I'm going to tell you the story of Moses and how he doubted God's call. The main verses we're going to be on today is Exodus 4, verse 1 through 5, and Exodus 4, verse 17 through 19. One thing people don't know about Moses is that he murdered an Egyptian in the Bible. The reason why he murdered the Egyptian because the Egyptian was beating a Hebrew. Moses is actually Hebrew by birth, but Egyptian by background. And the main message I want to talk about today is how Moses became a murderer and turned into a messenger. Now that you have a little bit of context on Moses' background, let's see what the passage is telling us about. The first verse in this passage starts off by telling us about Moses' worries and God's calling. Moses asked God, "What if they do not believe me or listen to me and say, 'The Lord did not appear to you'?" Then God asked Moses, "What is that in your hand?" And Moses replied, "A staff." God told Moses to throw the staff on the ground, and Moses threw it. Right after throwing the staff on the ground, the staff became a snake. At first, Moses ran away from the snake, like normal humans would do. But then God told Moses to grab the snake by the tail, and Moses did what God asked. And Moses reached out and grabbed the snake by the tail, and it turned right back into a staff. And God said, "This, said the Lord, is so that they may believe that the Lord, God of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has appeared to you." These two verses is basically saying how this is proof for Moses to tell the Egyptians that God has spoken to him and God is real. And on verse 17 of the passage, it says, "But take this staff in your hand so you can perform the signs with it." And when God says the signs, he's referring to his power through Moses' staff. In verses 19 through 20, it's just Moses leaving to go to Egypt. And it actually says in the passage right here, "And he took the staff of God in his hand." And this is it for our verses for today. Now let me tell you the message that God is trying to tell us through these verses. Now let me get back to the point I was talking about when Moses turned into a murderer, into a messenger. And today how people turn into sinners to followers of Christ. Or today how people doubt themselves through God's calling. They have a revelation about the actual meaning of God's calling. And when you're feeling like you're doubting God's calling, is one thing you need to understand. God's sovereign plan doesn't always make sense to us. What I mean by that is God can ask you to do something and you might be a little doubtful and a little skeptical about what you're doing. But